Kia ora, hello, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do the first of another new series called The Best of the Best. In other words, what it is, it's an accumulation of playlists that I've made since 2016, right? It goes way back then, and I've made many of them. So out of those playlists, I made another playlist and I called it The Best of the Best. So from those playlists, not necessarily one from different playlists, I have picked songs out that I just love and I can hear over and over again. And they're often songs, but not always, that have a hook in them or something in them that, whether it's the bass or the drums or the vocal or the overall atmosphere of the song, that just hits me straight away, and I go, I just feel it, and I go, oh God, I love this. And sometimes you just don't know why, but you do, right? So I'm going to try and make these short, which is near impossible for me. So I'm not going to give you a lot of info about these songs. This is from the start of when I very first made my playlist, and this is where I also made my best of the best a little time later, going right back to my first ever playlist. Most of these playlists I've made are 3 hours long each one, and I think I'm up to about my 120th playlist, right? So they're all mostly new songs I discover. When I say new, I mean new songs by artists I don't know, but also new songs by artists I do know. But added to that, songs that I've always loved, even before I started all this, way back, that I've revisited and found again and thought, I've always loved this song, I'm going to put it on, right? So this is the best of the best playlist of mine, and it's long, so I'm gonna release it in lots of 5. So the first track, and I was gonna go chronologically through, but from when I first started it, but and the songs aren't chronologically because some of them are older songs and when they came out, but some of them are, especially the newer ones at the time. So anyway, without further ado, the first track that I'm going to talk about is by a Finnish singer-songwriter. She's from Finland, and her name is Ina Forsman. Ina Forsman, right? So I first heard this song of hers called Farewell, and it's from a 2016 album she put out simply under her name. Now, it's been called her debut album, but I've since discovered that she did an album before this, which is under her name and the band name, which I can't remember. It's both. So maybe that's not considered such a solo album, or there's not much. I haven't been able to find much info about that. But this is considered her debut album in 2016. She was born in 1994. I'm not sure the exact date. So it makes her either 31 or 32, depending on when her birthday is. So I'm just going to show you the cover to it with the song. So here it is here, right? That's it. And that's her face on the cover with the song called Farewell, which I absolutely love. Everything about it. It's brilliant. It's groovy. It's funky. She's considered to be a blues singer, but she's got a very soulful voice. What else can I say? She's amazing. I'm glad I discovered her back then, and I've continued to follow her her career since then. She's done quite a few albums since then. So keep a lookout for that. Inna Forsman with her debut album, just called that under her name, and with the track called Farewell. It's just brilliant. I just love it. On to my second track. As I said, there's only going to be 5, right? So the second track is by an American guitarist. Now, I'm just trying to remember. His first name is Tom, right? You get to it. Tom Principato. That's his name. Tom Principato. So he's a guitarist and singer. And back in 2008, he released an album called Raising the Roof. And the track that I'm going to talk about here that I love is called is called In the Middle of the Night. And I'll just give you a quick gander at what the cover looks like and the title of the track. So there it is. Tom Principato with his band, and the track called In the Middle of the Night from an album called Raising the Roof. Now, I don't even know how to describe it. It's bluesy, it's gutsy, it's rocky. It's a very good recording. There's very nice bass on it as well. And I like his voice. Everything about it. It's got such atmosphere. It's not your typical blues as we know, a typical, say, 12-bar blues. I think it's even got a kind of a semi-subtle reggae feel in there from memory. I just love it. In the Middle of the Night by Tom Principato. Now, a little bit about Tom. Let me just bring this up. A little bit about Tom for you. Where are we? Before I do that, here's a couple more photos of him. Right. Tom Principato. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Right. That's not from the album, but these are other photos. And there's another one here, probably a better photo of him here, right? Tom Principato and his amazing track In the Middle of the Night from the Raising the Roof live album. Now, here's the thing. It was originally released in 2008, but often you'll find the remastered version, which came out in it was remixed and remastered in 2012. I haven't really compared the versions since it was remastered, but I have listened to both. They both sound really good. I just love this song. It's so gritty and atmospherically, and it's dirty, but it's raw, but it's kind of smooth and solid, and it's just go and check them out. Go and check this track out. It's amazing and one of my all-time favorites on my best of the best list. Now I'm going to move to my third track of my best of the best playlist, right? And it's where are we? It's an artist. Well, you'll know people. Those of you who are familiar with Grateful Dead, you know, the old psychedelic hippie band, call them what you like, jam band. Bob Weir was a founding member of that. He was known as one of the vocalists and more rhythm guitarists, although he shared lead guitar with Jerry Garcia at the time, who was the main lead guitarist. Now, he had an offshoot band that he was in for 2 years. It was a band he joined that already existed, and they were called Kingfish, right? Now, they put an album out in 1976, simply entitled Kingfish, and the track on it that I really love, and here it is here with the cover, is called Hypnotize. Now this has got a real 70s feel to it. It's very hard to describe. It's kind of, you know, there's vocals. It's not Bob on the vocals though, and in fact, I don't even know if it's Bob on the, I don't think it's him on the lead guitar. He's mainly playing rhythm. I won't go through, I could. If you want more details on these albums, if you're interested, I can go through another time and give you more info about it if you're interested. But go and check this out. As I say, it came out in 1976. I didn't discover it to 2016, right? And it's a real clear recording. It's got lovely, subtle kind of, it's got beautiful rhythm guitar on it. It's got groovy bass that every now and then pops, but just subtly. I don't even know how to describe the music. It's definitely rocky. Is it spacey? I don't know. It's very smooth, but not to the point of being smooth and boring. It's got a kind of edge to it still, but it's so, the rhythm of it, I just love it. So that's Hypnotize from a band called Kingfish, which featured the great legendary Bob Weir, who died, was it last year or did he die this year? Very recently anyway, another sad loss to the music community, a legend in his own right, Bob Weir. So that there was number 3. I'm going to give you 2 more, right? So coming up next at number 4, right? Number 4 of my new series of my best of the best of all my playlists is a track. Some of you older people or people who are into heavy rock from any era may have heard of a band called Uriah Heep, right? Now, Uriah Heep were there, right, the British band, they were right there at the forefront of heavy rock in its early days, along with Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and all of those sort of bands. And this track I'm going to talk about is not so much heavy rock. They didn't really call it heavy metal back then. It's more a bluesy number. It's very bluesy, but it's very, very good. And it's just, Anyway, the track that I want to mention here, and it's from their first album, let me just get it up here, is called Lucy Blues, right? And here's the cover to that. Let me just bring this up. There it is. I used to have the vinyl of this when it first came out. Lucy Blues. Beautiful song. Again, it's a blues song and it's almost ballady, but it's bluesy and it's soulful and it's solid, and that's how I like my blues. It's timeless, really. I mean, when I put it on, when I listen to it now, it sounds like it could have come out yesterday. You know, that good music can tend to be like that. Sometimes some music does age, and sometimes that's a bit to do with the recording. But as I say, released a track from their 1970 album, very heavy, very humble. And if you notice there, I don't know if it actually, hang on, got another photo here of the cover. They've got, you know, instead of having the word heavy and humble, they've just put an apostrophe in there. So it kind of looks like that, right? Looks like that. Uriah Heep, you know. Lucy Blues. The lead singer's name, now, the lead singer's name, if I've got this right, is, where are we, is David Byron. Hang on with me for a second here. Let me look this up. Great voice, great rock singer. So where is it? Let me just find him. Yeah, David Byron. Here's one picture of them. This is not that original lineup, but what's interesting about this, one of the people here, that guy there in the middle, that's Gary Thane. He was a Kiwi that went over to the UK and joined Uriah Heep, not in this recording, but a bit later, and was with them for quite a few years and did other albums with them. I think I did find another photo of the band that I think could be the original lineup. Gary Thane's not in this, and I think this could well be the original lineup. That's David Byron there, the singer. From memory, that's Mick Box, the guitarist. Possibly Lee Kerslake, the drummer. I think he's the original. No, Ollie Olsen. Ollie Olsen was the original drummer on this recording, I think his name is. And I can't remember the bass player's name, but a great track, beautiful singing, really good. I'm not a big ballad fan, but I don't even know what they call it, a ballad. It's just a slow, solid, gutsy blues. It really is, and it's timeless in my view. Okay, let's get to we're not doing too bad. We're only up to 16 minutes. Let's get to number 5. This is going to be the last track of my new series, my best of the best from all my playlists, my favorite tracks that I can just listen to over and over again, that I never get sick of. Well, you can if you overdo it, obviously, but then you give it a rest and you go back to it. But, you know, you always like it. It's just one of those songs that I'll always like, and I can't not like, you know. Yeah, I might overplay it occasionally, but that's rare with older stuff. I might visit it a couple of times, have a nostalgic moment, and then not play it again for a while. But it's on my best of my best playlist, and I'm going to start knocking these out, a 5 every time I do another one of these series. And I don't think I'll start them off chronologically. I may go from the first 5 I did and then right to the last 5. And as I say, a lot of them aren't. I haven't added to it a lot lately because I very rarely come across a song that I just love, that it's got to grow on you, that you hear over and over again. But, anyway, without further ado, let's get to our last track of my best of the best playlist. Number 5, the last one I'm going to give you is, wait for it, it's a track by, and you know what, have I failed on this? No, I haven't failed. It's a track by a musician called Brian Culbertson. Now, I forgot to mention where he's from. I think he's American. Don't know. But anyway, he's a multi-instrumentalist. He's more known for his keyboard work, including piano, synths. He even plays trombone, evidently. And I think he plays trombone on this track. So this track is from an album, again, he released, and I think, let me just have a look at this. The track's called Got to Give It Up. And this is a real dance, a funky dancing. You could almost call it, could you call it borderline disco? Disco, but not as we know it. It's definitely funk. And it's from an album called Funk. I just finding you the year it was released. Yes, it is 2016. Showing like this is when my playlist started and when I first put the first one up, as these 5 are. But as I say, I'm going to go back and forth from the beginning of my playlist to the end, and then we'll meet in the middle somewhere whenever I finish these. There's a lot of songs, I tell you. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this. And if you don't know any of this music, and it sounds like it might be interesting to listen to, go and find them, however you find them. And remember, you know, if it's an artist who's not a big Taylor Swift or $1 million selling artist, and somebody who's not, perhaps not so well known, or you know, struggles to really make a living, as a lot of musicians do, the ones who haven't kind of made it real big, you know, go and buy the Tactile album that it's from. Go and support them, especially local artists here in Aotearoa, because we know they tend to struggle even more than a lot of the overseas artists. You know, we're so isolated despite having the internet. You know, we can't go out on tours and promote ourselves as easy. It's so expensive and just difficult. So anyway, go and get it from wherever you can afford to get it. But you know, support or go on Bandcamp and pay for the song if you can find it on there. You know, support your artists where you can. So Brian Culbertson, right? Now, came out in 2016, and this is a track called Got to Give It Up. Man, is this dancey? I mean, if I did, you know, DJing, this would definitely, and I wanted to get people on the dance floor. It's got vocals, and it's got a funky, dancey beat. It's just so infectious. I love it. It's very funky. Now, as I said, came out in 2016. Can I give you any more information about, you know, the album's called Funk, but that track's called Got to Give It Up. Now, evidently, I was interested. I did discover that track is not one he wrote. He does write his own stuff. I think it's a Marvin Gaye track, but I've never heard Marvin's version. I'm just got some guff on it here, some info. Yes, Got to Give It Up is actually written by Marvin Gaye, right? So go and check it out from his 2016 album, simply entitled Funk. And just a little bit about Brian Culbertson. He is American. He was born in January the 12th, 1973, which makes him 53. He tends to look a bit older than he perhaps is. Now, let me just find a photo of him. It's hard to find a decent photo of him. I think this is an older one, and it looks like it's been, you know, painted up and flashed up. It might be a Photoshop job, I don't know. But that's him there. That's Brian Culbertson. I found out he doesn't do the vocals on this, but he does sing, not on this particular track. But he plays, I think, piano, and let me just look at it. I have got it here somewhere. 1 second. On this track, which is the 10th track on the album, he plays, where are we? Brian Culbertson on the Got to Give It Up track. No, hang on, not the right one. Here we go. He plays, on this track, he plays acoustic piano. He also plays trombone, very, very multi-instrumentalist, synth bass. Hang on, let me see what else. I think that might be it. But, yeah, because as I said, I don't think he does the vocals. Let me just have a look at who is the vocalist. The vocalist on this is somebody called Marquil Jordan. Don't know anything about this person. Marquil Jordan, unusual name. So, yeah, although he does, it says Brian Culbertson does gang vocals on it. So I don't know, I guess that's like backing vocals, a group of people, gang vocals. Never seen that term used before. So that's it. You know, if you like this and you want to know more next time I do one, or if you're interested, you know, go back, watch the video again, make a note of it. I'm not going to put these down links for them. It's too much work. It took me a lifetime just to get all this together, you know, believe it or not. Who knows about making YouTube stuff? It always takes longer than you think. And yet, you know, I don't do any editing because I really can't, and I haven't got the right software and stuff to do it. It's a long story, and I've talked about it before. So, you know, I've got to find it on my other phone and then, you know, manually show it on the screen like I've been doing here. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this, and, you know, let me know if you want to. I'm going to keep doing them. Let me know if you like this kind of series, and I'm going to keep doing more of these series. So on the next one of these, of my best of the best from all my playlists, I'm going to do another 5, but I think next time I will include them from the last 5 I put on. These were the first 5 I added right way back in 2016. So the others will be more recently, but I haven't added any for quite a while because I'm quite fussy about what goes on the list, right? So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Please, if you enjoyed this, like it, subscribe. That'd be great. And if you want to put a comment in about if you want to see more of these, you're going to see them anyway. Hopefully there'll be music in here you've never heard, and you can go out and check it out if you're wanting something. You know, a lot of the stuff I like, I must say this, a lot of the stuff I do like, it's hard to put people often ask me, well, you know, what's your favorite type of music? Well, I don't really have a distinct, narrowed down, pure genre that I like. I will say I do tend to prefer band stuff. It doesn't mean I don't like solo, and I do like stuff often that's quite groovy, quite funky, but not necessarily with bands, because I'm a big fan of bass players and drummers. That's something I always check out when I go and see a band. So I do prefer stuff, as I say, band stuff that's quite funky, but it doesn't have to be funky at all. It could be, and like any music, sometimes something comes along and it's completely different from what you'd normally like, but whatever it is, it just moves you and you just love it. But generally, I go towards that sort of stuff. I do like a lot of the old jazz rock fusion from the 70s when it was in its best era, and some stuff that came out later that still has an edge to it, not that smooth jazz, or as I think Andy Edwards, who I watch, calls it Fusac. Not when it went down that road, but there's something with an edge. I do like that sort of music. I like genres that do fuse elements, you know, whether it's reggae or funk or R&B or jazz, soul, electronica, heavy metal, whatever, the whole shebang, country even, whatever, you know. I like stuff that's kind of mixed up of elements, psychedelic, atmospheric, cosmic, I don't know, you know, blues, whatever. I like music. I'm not a big fan of pure roots music, but in saying that, it doesn't mean I don't dislike it. I do. I just find some music in its pure original roots form can sometimes be a little bit boring musically, unless, you know, the artist is someone exceptional with such a feel and something that it just moves you regardless of that. That's all I'm saying, okay? So if you think that what I like might kind of be what some of the stuff you might like, then keep watching, and I'm going to do more. So that's me saying goodbye for now. Enjoy your day, and ka kite.